So, you know, it's an interesting thing, and words are powerful. And when you're not political and you start to actually look around because chaos starts to, you know, the forest around you starts to burn. And you have to wonder what is going on here. So, I mean, this is the MSN, right? There's a new tab. You're going through the tabs and you see this. Factcheck.org finds that Charlie Kirk said most of those things blowing up online, which I mean he did. It's not no one's disputing some of the things that he said, but it's the interpretation or the ability to, what do you say, perception is reality. And now you pull up the article, and um, this is I'm gonna have to say that this is basically irresponsible on MSN. And MSN has just proven that we need to um, probably boycott them because this is, I don't know who wrote this, but someone should be definitely fired for this. So factcheck.org reviewed the viral quotes attributed to conspiracy theorists and white supremacists. Um, I don't know too much about Charlie Kirk, but I know he's a conservative that believed in God. But a white supremacist, I mean, you're liable here, MS. This is terrible writing. And even to say conspiracy theorist. I mean, most of the stuff he's talking about is actually true if you know history. So this is why I can see that there's animosity and there's resentment and hate from both sides. And it always seems to come from the media. It's very interesting. Because you see somebody assassinated, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, John F. Kennedy, and you go and back then you don't have a lot of ways to research their history or know what they were trying to do before they were assassinated. But Charlie Kirk, I mean, he's all over TikTok. If you wanted to research him, it's pretty easy to do so. And from what I've seen in the last 2 weeks or week, of this, or even more longer than that, just kind of like throw, scrolling through things, you listen to a couple debates between him and some kids. If you're not really paying that close attention to things, and you're just kind of watching videos on TikTok and social media. But he definitely was not a white supremacist, and some of the conspiracy theories he was talking about are actually true if you do research. So this is liability here on MSN, and I don't know what is going on, but the media needs to be checked here because they are throwing gasoline on this fire, and it looks like they're doing it on purpose. This is irresponsible, and it's just, I mean, it's truly unbelievable. Like, suppose you're unfamiliar with the work of Charlie Kirk before he was murdered. In that case, you may be interested to learn that most of the controversial statements being attributed to him and denied by supporters who imagine this sort of racist bigotry was actually just the words of a good Christian and are correct. I mean, I don't know who wrote this, but they sound awfully biased. Like, that is some, is this news or what is this? Wow. If you're in the middle America and you're not paying attention because you're an entrepreneur like me, and you're out here doing your things and you're just living your life, raising your family, and spending your life with your loved ones, and really just thinking everything's okay, this is not okay. In the same episode, Kurt rejected complaints that he was anti-Semitic, saying in earlier episodes he had said he was glad that Jewish Americans are reconsidering their financing of cultural Marxism. Okay. And people misunderstood it intentionally and slandered us for being anti-Semites. Culture Marxism is considered by some, including Southern poverty law. So I mean, this is, it's all about how you hear something, right? And this person is obviously a little upset about everything here. Culture Marxism is considered by some, including Southern Poverty Law Center, as an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. I mean, but who are they, right? Who are they to tell you a conspiracy theory if some of it's true? And it's most extreme. I mean, this is like, it's like you guys are trying to tell us because you have a title or somebody said it wasn't real that we're supposed to just believe it. But if you go through history, some of the cultural Marxism is true. With I happen to be Jewish, so it's not Jewish people, right? Just like Judaism is our religion, but it is certain part. Every culture has a black sheep, right? No matter where you come from. I mean, this is history. So there is, people that support that Marxism. It's a small amount of Jews, but it exists. So I don't know where people who don't. You can't believe everything that, obviously right now you can't believe anything that's ever been written, because right here you're seeing that the media and their ability to misinform or try to put their ideology or their perception onto its readers is really seems to be an issue. Because if I didn't know Charlie Kirk or listen to anything and I read this, I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, that's good. That happened to a, and I still wouldn't be excited about it. But like, oh, he was a white supremacist, right? And I would actually probably believe it if I wasn't educated at all. Wow, at its most extreme, it refers to the idea that a small group of Jewish immigrants in the U.S. worked as subvert Christian culture in America, spread progressive values. The phrase sometimes is equally analog to political correctness and is often used without anti-Semitic intentions to describe liberals, progressive movements, and others. Anti-Semitism Policy Trust, a UK nonprofit, explained in a 2020 briefing. However, in reality, it is a shadowy term openly used by see, that's what I mean. So here's phrases sometimes in an analogy for political correctness and is often used without anti-Semitic intention to describe liberals, progressive movements, and others, right? I guess this war is between conservatives and liberals, but it could be with others. The Anti-Semitic Policy Trust, a UK nonprofit, explained in 2020 briefing, right? So these are what you have to do. You have to have debates and people go back and forth, because sometimes, you can't take. It's all about perception or what you believe, right? And you can be swayed either way. You have to use your own brain, right? So I mean, going back here, I'm going to go look at all this and break this down, because I like to be educated on things that seem to be, might be a problem in the future here. But they come in after getting a briefing, right? So, I mean, so here's the thing, right? Up here it says, cultural Marxism is considered by some, including the Southern Poverty Law Center, as an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. At its most extreme, it refers to the ideal that a small group of Jewish immigrants in the U.S. worked to subvert Christian culture in America and spread progressive values. I mean, that is what happened. I don't know where you're getting your information, but you're choosing to believe that what the Southern Poverty Law Center says, right? And the extreme that it says, right? So you're trying to say that this isn't real because they say it isn't. But then the phrase sometimes is an analogy for political correctness and is often used without anti-Semitic intention to describe liberals, progressive movements, and others. The Anti-Semitism Policy Trust, a UK nonprofit, explained in 2020 briefing. But then you came back because you don't care what other people's opinion are, or if they say, hey, listen, you might be misunderstanding it because this is what right now what this word means or how they're saying it. They're not talking just about liberals, but progressive movements, but also others. However, you're coming in and say, in reality, like, who is reality? The guy writing this article? You sound awfully biased here. Guys, when you read something and you come across something like this, however, in reality, that's when people don't want you to have your own opinion. They want you to understand that they are smarter than you, or I'm sorry, they're not smarter than you. They're trying to make you understand that they think they're smarter than you and you should listen to them. For some reason, they understand words, or they understand intent, or their perception of something is actually the correct one and not anyone else's, right? It is a shadowy term openly used by anti-Semites, neo-Nazis, and others. I mean, with nefarious intentions. The group strongly recommends that people avoid using the phrase. Well, yeah, I mean, we should. I mean, if there's going to be confusion and all these things, then you probably, especially, we got to remember slavery was within a one lifetime. I mean, the world is not that old. I mean, it seems like a long time that there was slavery, but it was less than 100 years, one lifetime, right? You got to realize how young everything is, and it's hard to get by things that are. It's just interesting. But the problem is that people, when they let their emotions control their actions, they become dangerous, right? Knowledge, right? The ability to debate. This is where I'm confused, because the guy was only going around places talking to people and giving open mic debates, as far as I can tell. And you didn't have to become whatever he wanted. He still recognized you as a human being, and he just wanted to discuss what you had to say, and he discussed what he had to say. Open forum. That's called debating. That's why we love America, right? When you have emotions attached and you're so angry and you want to attack, like, it sounds like this person who wrote this is an angry person. I have to question your mentality. I have to question your behavior, your character. Whoever wrote this guy sounds dangerous, right? The entire article is worth reading if you have any doubt that Mr. Kirk's complimentary being misrepresented. The incredible effort Republican leadership is putting behind martyring this homophobic. Now, see, this is homophobic, anti-Semitic racists who proved our need for gun control by dying is a wonderful person and must be reverted is terrible. I don't know who wrote this, but you are a terrible person, and you have. I mean, I have just by reading how you write here, you have emotional issues, and you should probably seek to speak to somebody. I mean, yeah, I mean, I can hear your just by reading here, I can hear your intent to try to be funny and laugh at what happened, and that's sick. That's not humanity. That's yeah. And then you're putting in here a homophobe. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so now I need to find out if he was homophobic, anti-Semitic, and a racist, right? And I've already watched videos for a week here, watching his things, and I just don't see it. I mean, I'll watch more. I'm going to go to factcheck.org and go through all the things they put up there. And they better not have done anything where they change the narrative, because what's happening is middle America's waking up and looking around going, what is going on here? And we're starting to realize now that we're looking that these people that wrote this article here, people like this, are really pushing their opinion online, and they are just misunderstanding what news articles are, right? MSN, you should be ashamed of yourself for actually letting this go out. Opinion by Jason Weisenberg. Oh, of course. Now I can look at this Weisenberg, right? Very interesting, right? Let's see this. Now, if I let's take a look here. It's just interesting. Let me go to Google. Okay. Let's see here. Name, and this is kind of like origin for. So the surname Weisenberg is of German origin, derivative from a place named Weisenberg, meaning the White Mountain, or was an artificial name for Jewish Ashkenazic individuals. Interesting. It combines the German word Weiss, white, with berg, mountain, hill, along with the suffix. This is really interesting that, like I said, I am of Jewish descent. It's just so interesting. But people do understand that this is you. It doesn't take much to read between the lines. You ever hear people say read between the lines? When somebody is so emotional and vulgar and has to be so dramatic to make their point, more than likely the point is invalid, right? And this is just common sense. Um, yeah, Jewish. Weisenberg's surname meaning Jewish. So he's white Jewish. Hmm. So for Jewish individuals, that's what I said. I mean, like I said, I'm Jewish. I just wanted you guys to see what this is. I already know what it is. But for Jewish individuals, when you say Weisenberg, it was often an artificial name created for us, meaning during the times that we were persecuted. So it's just weird that his name is, um, you know, white, and then it's the Jewish surname they created for us, being a German. And it's weird that the article is so interested in calling someone a white supremacist and a Nazi. Interesting. Sometimes you have to read between the lines. Sometimes you have to be, yeah. Well, I'm gonna leave it right there. But I look forward to debunking this entire article and obviously boycotting MSN because this is scary that you guys let an opinion by Jason Weisenberger be so hateful and disgusting on your platform. Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself. Whoever this editor is, you should be. You should just resign because you have you've crossed the line, guys. So, good luck. God bless. Do your guys' research. As a Jew, I already knew what the last name meant, but you should know too, right? But thanks for creating the artificial name for us, my friend. Anyways, well, you have a good day. Take care of yourself, guys, and remember, there's an old saying from the Jewish people. Ready? And it's believe nothing you hear, believe nothing you are told, and believe half of what you see. And that comes from the people that had some really terrible times in their lives. In Egypt, in Germany, Weisenberg. And through those times, that saying has stayed with us. And that's why we're very hard to manipulate, use, and take advantage of. Because we believe nothing you say. We believe nothing we read. And 50% of what we see. Good luck. God bless, guys.